What's up, guys? So I know it's been a while. Things got kind of crazy at the shop. Had a lot of work I've had to get done, so I haven't had a whole lot of time to work on my own projects. But car's ready to go. Just waiting on a few more parts and we can start on the new setup. I actually decided we're gonna cut the whole tube front off the car that's on there right now. Just the way it's set up with the new motor and the new setup that we're doing, it's just not gonna work how I want it to. So that's getting cut off. So it's gonna get a whole new tube front. So you guys will see that. But to start, I figured I would give you guys kind of a breakdown of what we're actually doing. Now that we have the motor, we have most of the parts. Still waiting on a few things, but you know, that's how shipping is right now. So take you guys over, and I'm sure most people that know me have already figured out what's going on, but we are going LS3. Got really lucky, got a good deal on this motor. It's out of a 2008 Corvette. Super low miles, had like 48,000 original miles on it. All service done by GM, so it's in really good condition. Compression numbers came back good, everything was good to go, but we're still gonna go through, refresh some stuff just so we don't have to worry about it later on. So I was originally gonna make this like an unboxing video, but there's just too many boxes to open. I figured everybody would get bored, so I opened everything up already. I'll just kind of go through and show you what we have planned. So the exhaust is going to be all ISR stainless system. Got their high ground clearance headers, Y pipe, mid pipe, and cap back. May end up modifying it a little bit just so it's shorter to clear with the tube rear and everything, so if we do hit a wall it doesn't just completely destroy the exhaust, but we'll see how things go with that. Over on the parts side, kind of start from left to right. So doing new OEM multi-layer gaskets, ARP crank bolt, new valley cover gasket, new front and rear cover gaskets, new front main seal and rear main seals. Going with Texas Speed for valve train and cam. Just really good products. We've had good luck with them in the past. I know a lot of people run them and they're just really reliable. So we got a stage 3 cam. One of the big issues with the LS3 that I wanted to try and avoid is the factory timing set is a single bolt with a dowel pin that locates it. So I've heard a lot of horror stories of people shearing that dowel pin and then your timing set just spins, doesn't turn the cam, and you get a lot of issues. So with upgrading the cam, we switched it to the 3-bolt design. So we got the 3-bolt cam set, or timing set, sorry. Got new timing gear, new crank gear, new chain, new cam cover plate with seal, very important, don't want that to leak. Texas Speed push rods, Texas Speed dual valve spring kit. We're upgrading the rocker arms, have a known issue of the factory needle bearings just coming apart, and then you get little pieces of bearings in the motor and basically everything's done. So we're upgrading to the aftermarket Michigan Motorsport style bearings on that. Got the install tool for it. Got all new intake gaskets, valve cover gaskets. The rear oil galley plug, factory one, it's like a plastic and just is known to fail and have issues and be a little bit more restrictive than these billet aluminum ones. You get that in there. New timing chain tensioner, new lifter trays. We're also converting from the LS3 style lifters, which they're a hydraulic roller lifter, but they're only supported on either side of the roller, kind of like a Y shape that has one contact point on each side. So they're known to have issues where they can spread apart. So we're upgrading that to the LS7 style lifters, which are fully encircled. So it just supports it a lot better. Shouldn't have any issues there. New Texas Speed head bolt kit. Again, we're doing new head gaskets, so we're gonna need new bolts. Got a Melling, I believe this is, I'll have to check the part number on this, but it's a high volume stock pressure oil pump. Just, you know, want to keep everything consistent, keep the oil flowing good. We're also going to probably do an AccuSump setup on this motor, just so we've got one less thing to worry about. We can make sure we maintain oil pressure. Let's see, Chase Bay's brake booster delete kit. Again, they make great products, so going with them was kind of a no-brainer. And this one I'm actually really excited. I know a lot of people have used them in the past and had really good luck. We've used them on customers' cars, but haven't had a chance to use it on one of our own. So doing the Canton Racing oil pan, and it is all baffled and should be really good to keep oil right at the pickup. So that'll be good. I'd love to do a dry sump, but it's just not in the budget right now. For the mounts, we're doing the ISR kit. Very well made, good materials, super beefy. Looks like it should be pretty good. The only thing with this, instead of doing the T56 that a lot of people do, we're actually going to go back the Nissan route and do a CDO9. It's about the same initial cost up front for the transmission, the adapter kit and everything, but if the CDO9 goes out, it's another, you know, $600 to $800 for a replacement transmission. Compared to the T56, you're going to be another, I've seen them as cheap as $1,500, but around here they're usually going for about $200 to $2,500. So just seems like a better long-term setup. So got the trans over here, get that cleaned up. We're waiting on the adapter kit. ISR is out of stock right now, so I haven't been able to order that yet. So I'm going between that and the Siki kit. Siki makes a really good setup for it, but I'm kind of leaning more towards the ISR just because we've worked with them in the past and we've done a lot of stuff with them. Really like their products, and as you can see, we're using a lot of ISR stuff as it is, so it would be nice to keep everything kind of consistent. And with that, the issue we're going to have is ISR doesn't make a mount kit with the CDO9 trans. They make it for the T56. So unfortunately, this very nicely made transmission cross member we probably won't be able to use. We'll see how everything fits up once we get the trans bolted up to the motor, the adapter plate on and everything. Get it in the car and see how it sits. We might be able to modify this one to work for what we need, but it looks like we're gonna have to make a new trans cross member. But yeah, I just wanted to give you guys kind of a rundown. As usual, ACT 6-buck clutch kit. I've been using ACT since I don't even know when. I've always had really good luck with them. Really good company, solid parts, really good backing and customer support. So I definitely recommend, if you're on the fence about what clutch kit to get, I would go with ACT. Personal preference, I guess, but just makes a really good product. So yeah, that's kind of a quick rundown of what we're gonna have on the new motor, how we're gonna set it up. Also, we were originally going to do aftermarket fuel rails so we can hook it up to the fuel cell easy, no big issue there. But with getting the LS3, you know, we got the engine covers. I kind of want to keep those just for the aesthetic look. So the aftermarket rails don't fit with the stock covers. I've seen people modify them, but not really what I'm trying to do. So what we're going to end up doing, the C6 Corvette from factory has what's called a returnless fuel system. So basically you have two lines going up to the filter. It regulates the pressure there, sends one line up to the rail, and so it just eliminates a lot of different issues. So with trying to keep everything as simple and easy to work on as possible, we got a hold of Speedway Motors, and they actually take, this is a stock C6 Corvette fuel filter, which has a built-in pressure regulator to 58 or 60 psi, can't remember offhand, but basically the recommended fuel pressure for most LS setups. So we're going to start with this and see if this will work for our setup. But basically they hot braze on -6 AN fittings. So what we're going to end up with, coming off the fuel cell, we'll have one line, we'll have one feed line coming into the bottom, or sorry, we'll have a feed line coming into the top, have a return line coming out of the bottom back into the fuel cell. Simplifies the fuel system a lot. That way I only have to have one line coming out of the front here that runs up to the front of the car, So just less to deal with, less to worry about, less to go wrong. And you know, just overall a more simple setup. I am going to be running the Holley Terminator X Max kit on this. So with that, I can set up an electronic fuel pressure sensor on the factory fuel rail, and it will send a signal to the digital dash of that kit, and I can have a constant fuel pressure reading on my dash, so I don't have to worry. I don't have to, you know, pop the hood to see what's going on. I can just look at it right there on the dash. And with that kit, it's going to give me a lot of tunability, a lot of adjustment, be able to do a lot of things that I wouldn't be able to do with just, you know, like HP tuners flashing the stock ECU or something like that. So hopefully get that kit in soon. And especially with the LS3, it'll be nice because it is a drive-by-wire motor. So I'll be able to keep the drive-by-wire pedal, the drive-by-wire throttle body, which also offers some more tunability with that being set up in the car as well. Just gives me a little bit more options as far as, you know, changing what ratio the throttle body opens to how much you're pushing the pedal and things like that. So really excited to play with that once it gets here and kind of figure out all the different features and options that it has. But yeah, that's just kind of a rundown of what we're doing, what's going on. So hopefully be able to start on this really soon. Just waiting for everything to get here pretty much. A couple of more things and we should be good to go. So keep an eye out for that. I appreciate you guys checking out the video. I know this isn't super exciting for most people, but it's really exciting for me. So appreciate you. You know, hit like and subscribe if you guys want to see what we're going to do with this whole build and where it's going to go. The car is going to get a lot of changes too. You know, the new tube front, we've got a new dash setup that we're going to do. We're going to change the suspension setup a little bit. Just kind of go through, freshen up and change some stuff that worked at the time when we put the car together originally, but there's just different ways of doing it now. So want to update everything. But yeah, I appreciate you guys coming. Be sure to hit that like button and I'll see you on the next one.